next time you meet me in Gate City.
Oh, Cody Pope. I know Cody Pope.
Our friend is Cody and we not having a good day.
Smack dab in the middle of all that.
That was beautifully said. And I love that you said when you have a microphone in your hand.
And we were able to do it.
It's about just showing up.
Yeah.
What up, world? Welcome back to another episode of Cody Central. Thank you guys for tuning in, whether you're coming back or you're here for the first time. We got a wild one in store for tonight. Shout out to Ryan, first comment in the chat tonight. Appreciate you pulling up on us. Ryan actually has some really cool stuff going on right now. He is fundraising to start a pop-up ramen cart that'll be at events and more. I was fortunate to help him work on a video to promote this for the last couple months, and now it's finally out in the world. So make sure you guys check out granitstateramen.com and learn more about what he's got going on. So big shout out to Ryan for always being in here. As always, let us know where you're watching from, what city and state. Are you watching from YouTube or Facebook? If you're on YouTube, make sure you drop a subscribe to the Hellhound channel, and let's get into it. So for this week, we actually don't have a sponsor for the episode this week. And I know a few of you guys have been asking about how to get involved with the sponsorship program, how to get your show plugged on here, whatever that is. So I'm going to throw this up real quick so you can learn about how to get involved in that.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is go to hellhoundpublishing.com. Go to the menu, go find Cody Central, our show. Then you're going to scroll down and you're going to see a bunch of different donation options. Each one will have some really cool stuff that you get. Go to checkout, tell me what you want me to promote, cash out, simple as that.
Everybody that has been sponsoring the show so far, huge thanks to Photography by Ann Rova, huge thanks to Schoolyard Pro on YouTube. Shout out to everybody that's been keeping this thing going. Let's get into some weeklies now. We got some music of the week stuff to talk about here. As always, make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz. So music of the week this week. I picked the new EP. It's called En Route. It's from Odyssey. Just came out, I want to say, in the last week or two. En Route is the latest 4-song EP from DMV area MC and producer Odyssey, who's also known for his label Mellow Music Group. En Route is a quick but digestible collection of songs. It really provides a space for you to just think and elevate your consciousness and kind of really dig deep into things that you need to process. Lyrically, it has a lot of thoughtful messages and really important life lessons packed into this like smooth yet hard-hitting production that you come to expect from Odyssey. This project, it's quick, but it's certainly going to allow you to take yourself somewhere different mentally. I've already spun it multiple times this week. I'm really enjoying it. So I encourage you guys to check out En Route by Odyssey, available on all streaming platforms now. Normally we would do movie of the week next. However, after last week, we did a bunch of we did like 2 movies and 2 things. So I didn't really have anything good to review this week. I'm going to have some cool stuff for next week because we're working on some Hellhound Film Club episodes and stuff like that too. But if you want to get involved in the movie reviews, movie ratings, watch lists, anything that just deals with movie fanaticism, check out Letterboxd. I'm on there as well. That's where I do all of my movie stuff over there, and we can find great stuff to watch. Here is a little bit about Letterboxd. All right, guys, let's run through some shows. There's a bunch of great events coming up as always, if you have an event that you want to have listed, whether it's a music event or a fashion pop out or a educational event or a food truck thing, whatever it is, just hit the email codycentralshow@gmail.com. The only criteria for me plugging your event is that it feels like something that I would support and want to be a part of. It could be anywhere in the world, but as long as it fits what I'm doing culturally, I will make sure that we get it plugged on here. With that said, let's run through a bunch of stuff. First things first, every Sunday night, Rap Night Manchester at the Shaskeen in Manchester, New Hampshire. This year they're celebrating their 12th anniversary. That's right, 12 years of Rap Night right here in New Hampshire. Open ciphers and artist showcases, $5, 21 plus, hosted every week by DJ Myth, Sean Caliber, and I9. In addition to that, every Thursday is the Laugh Attic, which is upstairs at the Strange Brew, also in Manchester, New Hampshire. Laugh Attic is a comedy open mic showcase hosted by one of our previous guests on the show, Danny P. They go every single Thursday. They bring through some of the best talent regionally, nationally, as well as open micers. So whether you want to test the waters of comedy or you just want to go and catch a show that's going to make you laugh, every Thursday, the Laugh Attic in Manchester. Let's jump into some shows. Thursday, June 12th, Fever 333, the wild California-based rock hybrid band that's messaging is as strong as the music it's making, is making their way to Lowell, Massachusetts to Taffeta Music Hall. Friday, June 13th, the hilarious and brutally honest Midwestern stand-up comedian Jeffrey Osmus has 2 shows in New Hampshire at the Music Hall in Portsmouth, New Hampshire that day. Also on Friday, June 13th, apocalyptic goth doom outfit Dead Harrison takes on day 1 of the 2-day Rainbow Festival in Peabody, Massachusetts, alongside Degenerates of Punk, Basics Plus, and more. Saturday, June 14th, Converge, Cave-In, and Defeater come together at the Brooklyn Monarch in Brooklyn, New York for a celebration of life show for legendary hardcore promoter Rich Hall, rest in peace. Saturday, June 14th, 90s New York hardcore heavyweights Sworn Enemy make their way to Connecticut alongside Pale Horse, Risk, and Soulless to celebrate the release of their new album, My Friends, Your Enemies, going down at The Zone in Waterbury, Connecticut. Thursday, June 19th, legendary hip-hop stalwart Rakim makes his way to Portland, Maine for a legendary night at Oxbow Brewing. Friday, June 20th, Sean Mitchell, vocalist of punk band Volley, is hosting an artist reception at New Hampshire Underground in Nashua, New Hampshire. It's a free and public art exhibition for Sean. It's going to be his visual collage work and paintings. It's going to be a really cool event, free for the whole family. Check it out. Shout out to Terminus and New Hampshire Underground. Saturday, June 21st is Fourside Music Festival in Kittery, Maine. Seth on Gray, Footings, and more are going to be rocking the Black Birch parking lot from noon to 9 p.m. Saturday, June 21st, Connecticut hardcore legends Death Threat and one of Providence's most important bands, Product of Waste, come together for a special night at Alchemy in Providence. Colin of Arabia will be doing vocals for Product of Waste. Rest in peace, T. Also on Saturday, June 21st, one of the area's acclaimed musical acts, The Whole Loaf, sets off a wild night at the burgeoning DIY spot Terminus in Nashua, New Hampshire. They'll be joined by Paradise and more. Thursday, June 26th, frequent Alchemist collaborator and Griselda Records Detroit native Boldy James is going to be bringing his distinct hip-hop style to Boston's Brighton Music Hall. Friday, June 27th, New England punk and hardcore bands TFR and Pretty Ugly are going to be supporting Midwest heavy music act No Grave when they come to Kodo in Lowell, Massachusetts. Saturday, June 28th, iconic Canadian post-rock group Godspeed You Black Emperor makes their return to Boston for a long overdue rescheduled performance at Roadrunner. Also on Saturday, June 28th, one of the most influential and controversial rock bands of the early 2000s, Brand New, makes their long-awaited return to the stage after years of hiatus. They're going to be at the DCU Center in Worcester, Massachusetts. Also, Saturday, June 28th, The Day the Earth Blew Up, the Looney Tunes movie is having its streaming premiere. And I know this one sounds random, but like I mentioned last week, hear me out on this, all right? So this is the first of multiple Warner Brothers features that were scrapped entirely after completion and never made it to a theatrical release because Warner Brothers did this horrific tax write-off thing. And so they scrapped a bunch of Looney Tunes movies. They scrapped Batgirl. They scrapped countless IPs that were in completion. All of the filmmakers, the actors, everybody had done all of their parts. And for a couple of years, people thought that these movies were never going to see the light of day because of this. And fortunately, there's a company called Ketchup Entertainment, and Ketchup is purchasing the rights to all of these movies so that they can finally see the light of day. And The Day the Earth Blew Up is the first one that they purchased. They gave it a theatrical run, and now it's going to finally get its streaming run. And I just can't stress enough how important it is to contribute to saving this art. Even if you're not a movie person, this could happen in music as well. This could happen in any other medium. And so I just implore you guys, let that run in the background and while you're doing your laundry or whatever the case, but let's do what we can to support Ketchup Entertainment so that they can continue saving these movies and making sure that they see the light of day. If you want to know more about where to watch that, on that day, June 28th, it's going to be on HBO Max in the US and HBO Standard everywhere else. Okay, Friday, July 11th, 90s emo legends Cap and Jazz are going to be hitting Boston for a rare performance at Royale. Also on Friday, July 11th, the one, the only Wu-Tang Clan has their final tour coming to Boston with Run the Jewels as their opener. They're going to be tearing up the TD Garden. Tickets have already been on sale, so I wouldn't sleep on that if you don't have them yet. Saturday, July 12th, the return of one of New England's longest-standing technical metal musicians, The Summoned, is performing for the first time since 2023 in support of Cryptoderia of Pendulum Records. That's going down at Kodo in Lowell as well. Sunday, July 13th, the otherworldly TDE MC Ab-Soul brings his rare stage show back to Boston for a special night at Brighton Music Hall. Wednesday, July 23rd, Oakland hip-hop legends famous for tracks like 93 Till Infinity, Souls of Mischief make their way to Burlington, Vermont for a special night at Higher Ground. Thursday, July 24th, New Hampshire-based guitarist and multi-instrumentalist Gary Smith is going to be performing live at Trenta in Wolfboro, New Hampshire from 6 to 9. Saturday, July 26th is the Street Power record release show featuring Colin of Arabia, the Mongoloids, and more. That's going to be at the Middle East Downstairs. The show already sold out once. It was at Sonia. They moved it to the Middle East Downstairs so that they could open up more tickets. So if you want to check that out and see old and new of Boston hardcore alike, get tickets while you can. Wednesday, July 30th, 2000s Brooklyn indie alternative rock giants TV on the Radio make their long-awaited return with a select run of shows that's going to be stopping at Roadrunner in Boston as well. Sunday, August 3rd, iconic hip-hop group De La Soul takes the stage at one of music's most notable gatherings, the Newport Jazz Fest in Newport, Rhode Island. That's Sunday, August 3rd. Sunday, August 9th, legendary stand-up comedian Louis C.K. makes his way to Foxwoods in Connecticut for a night of raw, unfiltered comedy. Saturday, August 9th, the Motown Band performs Motown in Your Town at the Park Theater in Jaffrey, New Hampshire, where they're going to be performing hits from the Supremes, Marvin Gaye, The Temptations, Smokey Robinson, The Four Tops, and more. Saturday, August 16th and Sunday, August 17th, legendary heavy Southern music icons Crowbar and I Hate God joined together for a tour fans have craved for years from the titans of low-tuned guitars. Saturday, August 16th sees them hit Portland and then Boston the next night at Brighton Music Hall on Sunday. Thursday, August 21st, 1980s Portsmouth, New Hampshire punk rock natives The Queers are going to embark upon a stop in historic Lowell, Mass. At Taffeta Music Hall. Friday, August 22nd, iconic Massachusetts rock metal hybrid Cave-In celebrates 25 years of their album Jupiter with a full performance at the Sinclair in Cambridge. Friday, August 22nd, Twin Peaks, A Conversation with the Stars is going down at the Nashua Center for the Arts. Ray Wise, Kimmy Robertson, Harry Goaz, James Marshall, and executive producer Sabrina Sutherland will all be live in person taking questions and talking about the historic show. Rest in peace, David Lynch. Friday, August 29th, American industrial legends 9 Inch Nails embark upon a huge tour that's stopping at the TD Garden for the first time in a number of years. Saturday, August 30th is Hardcore Flea Volume 4 at Ralph's in Worcester, Massachusetts. It's free to attend, outdoor vendor marketplace, and live music. Thursday, September 11th, John Cusack will be in person at the Music Hall in Portsmouth for a screening of High Fidelity, followed by a Q&A afterwards. Wednesday, September 17th, reclusive but legendary MC, New York's own Billy Woods, is going to be coming to the Brighton Music Hall in Boston, Massachusetts. The next day, on Thursday, September 18th, late 80s New Jersey punk icons The Bouncing Souls are going to be bringing their tour to Royale in Boston. Sunday, September 21st, Stop Making Sense 4K re-release screening at the Cabot Theater in Beverly, Mass. Anybody that has seen this before, Stop Making Sense is the Talking Heads live performance movie that they have now done a 4K upgrade on and are going to be screening in theaters. This screening at the Cabot Theater will have a live Q&A with Talking Heads guitarist Jerry Harrison live in person. Thursday, September 25th, absolute punk rock legend Iggy Pop takes the stage at Suffolk Downs in Boston, Massachusetts, and is joined by iconic 80s UK punk rock act Sex Pistols, featuring most original members with the exception of Frank Carter on vocals. Saturday, September 27th is Punk in the Park at the Palladium in Worcester, Massachusetts. Bad Religion, Pennywise, Comeback Kid, Face to Face, Adolescence, and more will all be present. Thursday, October 2nd, 3 absolute titans of 90s hardcore come together for what is most likely to be one of the most memorable and rare tours possible. New York hardcore heavyweights Judge, the dark and evil metallic underlords Integrity, and the pioneers of straight edge hardcore Earth Crisis all come together for a show at the Middle East, which is now officially sold out. Wednesday, October 15th, 90s emo and indie rock giants Modest Mouse hit MGM Music Hall at Fenway Park in Boston. Saturday, October 18th is officially Al Baril Day at Roadrunner in Boston, Massachusetts. Band announcements will be coming soon. This is an event to honor the legacy of Boston hardcore pioneer Al Baril of SSD Control, who recently passed away due to colon cancer. All proceeds from the show will benefit the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. Follow the SSD Control official Instagram page for more updates on the bands and such that will be participating. Late 70s punk icons GBH make their way to Allston, Massachusetts on Thursday, November 6th. Saturday, December 6th, 70th birthday of New York hardcore legend Vinny Stigma. Agnostic Front have put together a night to remember at Irving Plaza in New York City. And lastly, Saturday, December 13th, is Blissmas 25 at the Buffalo River Works in Buffalo, New York. Blissmas is the crazy festival that was formerly the Every Time I Die holiday show. This year, I keep wanting to say Every Time I Die, Better Lovers is the band they are now. They are going to be bringing out Glassjaw, Saves the Day, Terror, Onyx, Haywire, and a bunch of other groups. This is going to be one of the craziest end of year festivals. Tickets are on sale now at blissmas.co. And with that said, that was our event run for the week. Hopefully you heard something that you want to go to. Tickets for all these events are pretty much available now. Just search them online. We do this every week. We really want you guys to find events to go out, support live music, support nightlife, support the arts. Get out there and just be part of your community, whatever that takes. And with that said, let's get into the main portion of our show tonight. Big shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Big shout out to Ben. Big shout out to Jen. Big shout out to Ryan. Appreciate everybody that's been tuned in. Tonight's guest is somebody that I have been really excited to talk shop with for a long time. We've had the pleasure of doing shows in the past, but you know, we're kind of traveling between things and the night always gets busy. So this will be one of the first times that we can really sit down and chop it up. He is a local independent musician. He is also a youth educator, and he's also a national touring act. I am super pleased to welcome my friend Marcel P. Black.
What's up, man? How you doing, brother?
Hey, how you doing, man? Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Absolutely, man. My pleasure.
So, as you guys know, now the interview is going. If you guys have any questions for our guest at any point tonight, drop your questions in the comments. We will pick our favorite ones and throw them on screen to get answered. Make sure you guys check the banner below. Follow Marcel at all of the links listed. That's going to be running while we chat. And with that said, let's get into it, man. So I know you got a ton of stuff coming up. I'm so excited to get into the tour and all the things that you have going on. First things first, I really like to, because a lot of the people that tune into the show, they don't know the guests that I bring on. It's people from my network or fans of the music or whatever the case is. So I really like to kind of get like a starting point. And so I would like to start with like the music side of things first. And so when did you really like fall in love with music, and what age were you when you realized it was something that you wanted to pursue with your life?
So God bless his soul, man. My father was a gospel musician. So I grew up in the church. If anybody's ever seen me perform live, you can absolutely tell. But that was my first introduction to music. As long as I can remember, I remember watching my dad sit at the edge of his bed and get on his guitar, and he would strum out different stuff. And then I would see him get his yellow notepad. I see him write stuff in chicken scratch. And then he would go down to our garage turned this makeshift studio, and he would record. Or I would see some of the stuff that he would be working on. He would sing it at Sunday morning at church or whatever. So just watching my father, that was my first introduction to music. And I don't remember when I fell in love with music. It's just something that's always been a part of my life. Like, he also was a touring musician. He didn't tour like nationally like I did, but I grew up in Southern Oklahoma, and it seemed like every other weekend we was at somebody's church, somebody's community center. You know what I'm saying? He was singing or whatever. So like every 2 weeks or at least once a month, we was on the road somewhere. So as far as like me making music or just having like music as like a part of my life, something that I've always known. As far as hip hop goes, you know what I'm saying, summer of 1989, I want to say, right before I turned 6, I remember going out to, I grew up in a small town in Southern Oklahoma, and my mother's homestead is deep out in the country, very, very rural. But I would go out there to visit my cousins, and I had an older cousin named Mickey, God bless his soul. He used to dress just like LL Cool J. And I remember going into his room and seeing the vinyl for Walk with the Panther. And I was like, that's Mickey. Like, no, that's LL Cool J. No, that's Mickey. Like, he got the red tracksuit on. He got the no, that's LL Cool J. I was like, well, who is LL Cool J? He's a rapper. What's rap? And they played me I'm Bad. And I remember like being like almost 6 years old. And every time I went out there, I would have them teach me like a couple of lines to I'm Bad until I was able to rap like the whole first verse. You know what I'm saying? Thank God, he didn't really curse. We did say one curse word in the first verse, but it really wasn't as vulgar or whatever. But yeah, so instead of motherfucker, we said some other sucker. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But and so that was my introduction to hip hop, and that was it ever since, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm blessed to be old enough to like remember like the ends of Yo MTV Raps, but being there from the beginning of like Rap City and following that through, and like just loving the culture, man, loving it, like absolutely using it as a way to express myself, but like growing up in like a very, very small town, man, like rap music took me all across the world. You know what I'm saying? I was just watching the music videos, and like it sucks, man, because I just moved, and so I collected every Source magazine and Double XL magazine from like 1999 to 2010. And so it sucks because I just moved, and in my shed was like this old shed. It didn't have a lock on it. And so we had already started moving into our new house, but people came in and like started taking bags and stuff, and they stole pretty much my entire library, and they stole my magazine collection.
Oh, that's cold-blooded.
You know what I'm saying? So like just with magazines, man, Rap City, and I have older cousins, they put me on the hip hop, and it's like I always want to be a part of the culture. And so like watching my father be an artist and be a creator, and watching my father tour, and then the hip hop bug biting me, you know what I'm saying, is the reason why I'm here today.
Man, I love that. It's like you really had like a whirlwind of music around you in all aspects of your life, that even if you wanted to avoid it, it seems like it would have been hard to avoid, just having that influence all around you.
Absolutely.
I kind of want to segue this into what I feel like is another important chapter of who you are too. When we met and through the stuff that you post online, you're very proactive about being a youth educator as well, and that seems to have been a very big part of the backbone of who you are as a person and an artist and all of that. And so what age were you when you decided that you wanted to pursue being a youth educator, and was there something that happened that made you kind of turn that key?
So once again, my father was a juvenile probation officer, and my mother, you know what I'm saying, so like very, very deep in the church, and you know, Sunday school teachers and working with the youth in the church. And so I grew up, even though I was the only child, I have several brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, that my parents helped raise, you know what I'm saying. So but my parents' love was working with young people. My mother was a social worker, and my father was a juvenile probation officer. And he was the guy that, like, he was the dude who had all the gangbangers and street dudes who the parents would hope that they was on my dad's caseload, because he was the man who tried to keep him out of trouble. And as much as I tried to run away from it, I ran right into it. You know what I'm saying? Just working with young people, because that's what I saw my parents doing. So it was the summer after I graduated high school. I worked at like a summer program, like a little summer camp, and I loved it. I knew that's what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? I saw the positive impact that my parents had on kids. You know what I'm saying? And like I thought that was cool. But the first summer that I did it, I'm like, yo, this is great. Like, this is because you get to be a kid again too. Like, you get to, like, I've learned being a youth development worker. I've learned so much. I've learned so much. You know what I'm saying? From young people, that it keeps me hip, it keeps me young. It had me somewhat prepared when I became a parent myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I've had a lot of whatever. But and I've been blessed, man. I've been blessed to be able to this when school starts, but technically with this summer, right? This will be year 23. I've been working with young people.
Wow.
I've been working with young people, right? And I've been in education for the last 6 years or what have you. But like so it started off as, you know, like summer camps. Then I got into like asset-based positive youth development. And then, you know, I did time. Well, not said did time. I spent time being a mental health counselor. You know what I'm saying? And over the last, probably since 2019, 2020, I've been really head first in hip hop education. You know, I'm still I teach it. I'm a high school teacher. I do teach history. I teach African American studies, and I teach I taught U.S. history, African American studies, and I was able to pilot a hip hop studies program, whatever. Like, I created the whole curriculum and everything. But I've been doing hip hop. Well, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I did like hip hop education and like some other like after school programs or whatever. But like, as far as like that I created like a curriculum or what have you, I've been doing that for like the last 6 years. And so, you know, it's just been a blessing, man. It's been a blessing to like I probably would not be a youth worker, you know, of course, like watching my parents work with young people, but I probably wouldn't be a teacher or a youth worker if it wasn't for hip hop, because I like conscious rap. You know, I'm a conscious MC, and there's a natural extension of like, you know, I'm not the activist that you're going to see marching up and down the street, but I'm the activist that's organizing young people, and that's because of what I heard Dead Prayers say. You know what I'm saying? And like, because because of the hip hop that I listened to, it made me like feel an urge to go out there and organize with young brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, it's all like trying to entertain or keep the attention of kids from kindergarten to seniors for an hour and a half is very similar to being an MC on stage. You know what I'm saying? It's very similar to being an MC on stage, and from the way you set up your peace. From the way you set up your lessons to the caller response to the energy that you have to the intention that you have, you know what I'm saying, to being personable and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? So it's very similar. And so yeah, man, youth work, hip hop education, I love it. Like next year I'm only teaching hip hop studies and African American studies, so I'm really, really excited about that. I get to, I've always mixed rap into my educational thing, but to be able to really do it and create a curriculum behind it and have it backed by the district is A1.
That's incredible. I love that so much. It's so inspiring. And it actually kind of leads into the question I had for you next. So you kind of tapped into it a little bit, but I wanted to know, like, and maybe I guess you could talk about your first experience, but how these two courses that you've been on in life, how have they intersected as you've experienced more life?
I'm trying to think when they didn't intersect. Cause like, to be cliche, but like KRS One said, rap is something you do, hip hop is something that you live. And because I'm an MC, because I'm hip hop, because hip hop gives me, it gave me, like, I am a quote unquote a radical left conscious rapper. I didn't get that from my parents. I got it from hip hop, right? But of course, I mixed it with how I was raised and like my heart for the community and things of that nature. But like a lot of the more, I guess you could say, Pan-African or Black liberation, you know what I'm saying? It was hip hop that introduced me to Malcolm X. It was hip hop that introduced me to socialism. It was hip hop that introduced me to Fred Hampton, right? And so, like I said, my thing was, okay, let me go talk to these kids. Let me go take some of the stuff that I'm learning in this music and, like, you know what I'm saying, put it in the way that I live, and let me be a role model to these kids, right? You know what I'm saying? So anything that I've ever done, you know what I'm saying, from the way that I dress, the way that I carry myself, I'm always hip hop. Like, people, it's so funny, like, you know me, Cody, you know what I'm saying? Last time I saw you, my hair wasn't like this or whatever. But I'm 6'4", 450 pounds. Nobody thinks I'm a teacher. I come in with my polo on, my dreads up like this. I got my Jordans, you know what I'm saying? I got my Africa chain. And when I walk in, the little white ladies be terrified until they see my school badge. And it's not because I'm trying to be a thug, whatever. I'm hip hop. So like, I mean, hip hop, I mean, I'm from the culture, I'm from that era. And people my age, people like myself, we're your teachers now. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's always, when I was a mental health counselor, with using music as therapy, helping young people write their feelings in the forms of poems or raps or whatever. Or sometimes when I was a mental health counselor, we try to do like exercises to like relieve anger. Okay, cool. I'm gonna give you a beat for 5 minutes. I want you to say whatever you say, freestyle. It ain't gotta rhyme. It ain't gotta make sense. I ain't gonna tell you nothing about cursing. Just get it off your chest, and then we can talk about it. I'm gonna listen to what you're saying. Sometimes I'll record it. You know what I'm saying? And okay, cool. This is what you. Okay, so when you said such and such in your freestyle, what did you mean? What made you feel that way? You know what I'm saying? So when I talk chess for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And same thing. Got music in there. I'm watching the hip hop chess school that RZA has, right? So everything I've ever done, hip hop has always been a part of it. The activism part of it, the organizational part of it, it's all been one in hand. And like I said, it's hard for me to think of a time that it wasn't together. It's always been together. That's, you know what I'm saying? So, and it's been a blessing.
I love that. That's remarkable, because I think we both know how many people found hip hop later in life and it's become an accessory to their life rather than the lifestyle that they lead. And it's created all of these diversions culturally. And so what seems like the back of your hand common sense to you, I think is such an important thing to share with people about how hip hop is so much more than just the music we listen to or the fashion we derive or the art that we're inspired by. It really, is rooted in cultural development and cultural growth. And so I commend you immensely for having that so fluidly in your backbone and such a thing that you care so much about. I think that's so important to what we're doing at large.
And I appreciate that. And it's like I told you, I'm a son of a gospel musician, and so for me, like I'm very secular, whatever, you know what I'm saying. But music is absolutely it definitely deals with Black spirituality, African spirituality, and so I look at music as my ministry, right? So what I make when I perform, what I record, but the other side of that ministry is what I do with real people. So like I'm on stage, I'm rapping to the parents, but I'm working with the kids. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? So it's like, but it's all one and the same to me, right? Like there's a lot of people who they talk it, but they don't live it. And for me, it's all I know. It's all I know.
You're not kidding. So I do want to get into the music side of things a little bit, because obviously I know that's where you're doing a lot of work, especially this summer. And so obviously doing these interviews, I try to do a little digging and a little research so that I have some things to bring up. And so in like your press kit and some of the information that you provide publicly, it's noted that early on you were a part of like an underground hip hop collective before you decided to branch off and go solo. And so I wanted to know, how did you come to the realization that doing your own thing was going to be the best course of action for you?
You did some research if you found that. Man, so the group you're talking about is called the Red Land. One of the guys in the group, he was my best friend in high school, and he was a class ahead of me. So when he graduated high school, he went to school in Atlanta. He met a guy in Atlanta, and we all linked up. We started doing music together. So I voluntarily left the Red Land, and it wasn't necessarily by choice. It just kind of what happened. You know what I'm saying? It was I was back and forth between Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where I was going to college. They were in Atlanta, and we stopped communicating. To this day, I really don't know why we stopped communicating. Like, there was never no big like argument or beef or whatever, but we were 22, 23 years old.
Yeah, so it just seems like geographically it was complicated as it was.
Yeah, it was complicated. They say it's funny how what Lauryn Hill say is it's funny how money changed the situation. Miscommunication leads to complication. And so kind of, we were kids, 20, 22, 23 years old. And I didn't like the way the business was going. I didn't like, there was an opportunity for me to I guess kind of like, we had like not a deal, but kind of like a production deal on the table. And it would have required me to kind of like drop out of school and move to Atlanta full time. And I didn't feel comfortable doing that because me and my friends weren't getting along.
Yeah.
So I chose like, and our friendship struggled after that. It took us being men and husbands and fathers to kind of like really square it away 100%. But I chose like, you know what? I'm not going to let money or some whatever come in between what I feel is a genuine friendship. And so I would rather not be in the group and be forced to be together when we don't rock like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely not dropping out of college. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. What have you? Because I don't come from bread like that. We had to work. Yeah, we had to work hard. You know what I'm saying? So I don't come from bread like that to be dropping out of school, whatever. So, I'm an only child though. So me working by myself and being by myself, I guess it was. I was gonna do what I was gonna do. Like it's bigger than just me being a rapper to me. It's bigger than that. It's like I said before. It's a ministry. It's a passion. I gotta say what I gotta say. I can't look outside and see what I see and not say nothing about it and do something about it. And so if I'm in a situation and it's not moving with my spirit, I'm going to do what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? And so I left the group, and it's and it wasn't on the best terms at the time, but I've never regretted it because I've been and I think because I went about it with my values and my morals and my vision intact, I've been blessed because of it, right? I've been blessed to to be able to pretty much make hip hop and engage the culture in the way that sees fit, and I'm still being blessed with opportunities. I'm in my 40s now. You understand what I'm saying? I still, I'm a school teacher, and I still will tour for 25 states during the summertime. You know what I'm saying? In my 40s, you understand what I'm saying? And so I feel like because I've approached it the right way and kept my dignity intact, that's why I've been blessed to do so. Whatever. So, but I love being an independent artist. I love the challenge of creating something just from my idea and be able to take it and be able to connect with people all over and be able to like say something that means something to me, and hopefully somebody takes something from it, and it could be life affirming, it could be life changing, it could be eye awakening. You know what I'm saying? Like when I come to New England, right? You know what I'm saying? There's no secret that the African American population is not large, but I get a chance to be a large African American Southerner and come up here to New England, and I get to articulate a story that other people may not know about, but people might learn about what's going on, and it's always been good vibes because it comes from a natural place, and that's the beauty of hip hop as a ministry, because it allows you to connect with people regardless of what their day to day is. I'm able to articulate that. I've had so many incredible conversations at my merch table after a set because of things that I've said in my music. Like people that I've met at shows. While I'm here, big shout out to my man Josh. I met Josh at your show in Nashville, and he lives in Texas now. Every time I come to Texas, we link up every single time, right? But we're connected, and it's like a bond there. You know what I'm saying? Because of something that I said on stage when he was in the audience. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him in Nashville, I've seen him in Manchester, and I've seen him in San Antonio, Texas. So big shout out to my man Josh. I had to shout him out or whatever.
Yeah, I love him. He's good people.
He's a damn good chef too. You know what I'm saying? Damn good cook. You know what I'm saying? But so yes, but like I just love the connection with people. Like I said, I'm what do you say? I'm a man of the people. I am a proletariat. You know what I'm saying? I am the people. I am not the pig. I love connecting with people. And so being an independent artist, not being crippled by nobody's money, nobody's business or agenda, is I get to say what I want to say. That's reflective of the people, reach the people how I want to reach them, and I love it, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Hey, Caitlin. Hey.
I love that. So I want to go because I do want to talk about touring, because that's like a pretty pivotal part of your artistry. But I want to go into some of the like music side of things, more like on the recording side. So
okay.
When I was going through your discography, I could find releases going back all the way to like 2008. I don't know if that's like the earliest or just the first like Marcel P Black like proper recording, but nevertheless, having recordings under one moniker from 2008 to now is a remarkable feat that we both know. We've seen a lot of artists come and go in that time that weren't able to handle the wave or weren't able to keep up with the consistency. And so one of the things I wanted to know is, how has your writing and recording process evolved in that time, from doing a project in 2008 to the way that you do your music now?
So, man, it's been 17 years. That's crazy. So, so there was music that I released with my group before I went solo, and I guess the main thing that's changed the most is I didn't know anything about getting anything mixed and mastered probably like the first like the first 3 or 4 projects. I was just rapping, you know what I'm saying? Like it was you know, it's 2008, so it was the mixtape era. So when everybody was rapping on other people's beats. But then I learned I knew about publishing because of the time when I was with the record label. So I was like, look, I'm not rapping over nobody else's beats. I want my publishing, I want royalties or whatever. And I still didn't know I knew how to get writers checks from royalties, but I didn't know about the publishers, like actually have my own publishing company. That didn't come to like years later or whatever. And I missed out on a lot of money, whatever. But but I'm still, even though I wanted to have original production, I was still thinking like a mixtape rapper. So I'm just rapping over the beat and putting it out. So if you listen to my first couple of projects, it was the mixing and the mastering was not it was pretty much, it's almost damn near all rough cuts. It's all like demo quality, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know nothing about it, but I knew I had something to say, and I know I wanted people to hear it, you know what I'm saying? As far as recording, so when I was with my label, I was back and forth between Baton Rouge and Atlanta, and so I would get flown out to Atlanta, and I had a weekend, and so I learned to record 4 or 5 songs in like 2 days, or maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever my parts was, they would have the beats I would write on the plane, or I'd already have it written, and I would fly out there, and it would just be marathon sessions, and I got all my parts right. You know what I'm saying? And so to this day, I kind of record like that now. Like I think I don't know, I can't remember. I have either 21 or 20 projects. I don't remember. It's one of the two. And I've probably never spent, well, the majority of my albums and my projects, I would say if I have 20 projects, 15 of them were probably recorded in less than a month. Some of them, like a lot of my projects are recorded in 2 sessions, because I was trained to, hey, bro, you got 40 hours to do 6 songs. You got to lock in. Like my project 7, one of the reasons why it's called 7 is because I used to go to Jackson, Mississippi to record my partner Fifth Child. I got there at 6 o'clock, recorded seven songs, and we was done by like 1:30 in the morning.
Ooh,
7 hours straight. Out, like no food breaks, just water and bathroom breaks, just straight through. You know what I'm saying? And so that's one thing that's really similar as far as like, hey, when I get in, and what's crazy is for me to have so many projects, I don't like recording. I don't like it. I performing is my favorite part, but as far as like, I'm not the person who wants to go to the studio and turn beats on. I don't like people in the studio smoking or drinking. I want me and my engineer, we locked in. Ain't no games being played. Like, we'll listen to the music back, we'll discuss the music, but I don't like none of that type of stuff. I want to lock in. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think like one of the biggest change for me being a solo artist to like me kind of matriculating, I mean, for being in a group or whatever, is that, you know, me being part of the group, I was only responsible for my bars, my hook, my verses. And so if you go back and listen to like, excuse me, a lot of my early music, a lot of hooks were like sample hooks, because I really didn't know how to write hooks. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really know how to write hooks until I started touring, because I used a lot of call and response, and that kind of informed me with like to get people to like kind of get people engaged during the hook or whatever, as opposed to being like a super duper wordy hook, or you know what I'm saying, like, okay, I'm saying something very, very heavy verse wise, what can I do on the hook that's going to kind of like give you a breather a little bit, you have some fun before we lock back in on the verse or whatever. So it took me a couple projects, you know what I'm saying, to like really learn how to write a good hook, and I'm really just not perfecting it, honestly. And like, you know, learning how to like, I remember like when we was in a group, we didn't really know how to count bars, so like, we like our verses would be like 32 bar verses, and it's 3 of us, you know what I'm saying, and so our songs are long as hell. And so like me learning how to like, okay, instead of just saying everything I want to say in one 32 bar verse, let me break this down and kind of like, you know, pieces so the story can kind of continue to a couple different verses or whatever. But I listen to that old music, man, and like I'm proud of it, because I've always made the music that I wanted to make. Like whatever I was like, I'm a backpacker, I'm a conscious rapper, I'm a church boy, I'm a country boy, I'm a southerner. I grew up around gangs. I've always like every single thing that I've made, even if the quality ain't that good, and I go back and listen to the mistakes or whatever, it's always been a natural reflection of who I am. I can honestly say that it ain't too many things that I've said on record that I regret. One time I referenced R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I wish I wouldn't have said R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? I should have said another artist. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, man, like, I truly enjoy the music that I make, and it feels good knowing that I did it my way. I've never had to do something I wasn't. I've never called a black woman out of, or any woman out their name. I've never glorified murder, death, or drugs. It's always been positive. It's always been, not even if it's not positive, but it's never been nihilistic. It's never been about genocide. Because I'm talking about serious issues, so it's not positive per se. But like, I can always, this goes back to me being the son of a gospel musician and looking at music as my ministry. Everything is, even if I'm talking about a serious situation, everything is always designed to uplift. You know what I'm saying? I'm fighting back against the oppressor. I'm fighting back against white supremacy or what have you. But everything is meant to uplift the people that are in the struggle, who are unfortunately underneath the boot of oppression. And it's be it if I'm approaching it from a serious standpoint, or if I'm trying to make you dance or make you laugh, right? So being able to do what I want to do, have a level of longevity, and do it my way, it absolutely means a lot. It means a lot to me.
Yeah, it's a valuable writing technique to have the contrast to say something heavy and say something that needs to be proclaimed, but to also contrast that with a more malleable way to get people participating in that same thing. I think that in and of itself is like an immense skill set to be able to lay out when needed. Because
I cut my teeth performing in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm the same age as Lil Boosie. And so, like, that is what's on the other side of town when I'm rapping. So when I'm on the stage, I've done shows with Kevin Gates. When I'm on the stage, they're here for party and bullshit. What am I going to say to make sure they're entertained? I'm saying the same thing, but how can I perform this? Well, what can I say to get their attention? If they're not trying to hear about my great-great-grandfather running away from slavery, what can I do on the chorus? That's going to, like, okay, that's going to get them into it. From my delivery, from the production I choose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I say I make conjure rap for gang members. You know what I'm saying? I'm from that school of, like, your KRS-Ones, your Scarfaces, your Killer Mikes, your Ice-T's, your Ice Cubes, your Tupacs, where it's like, okay, yeah, we're educated, we Black Power, we Black Panthers, but I'm kicking to you from a street perspective. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, because that's what's gonna get the quote unquote young boys on the corner. That's what's gonna get their attention. The aggressiveness of it. What I call passion. You know what I'm saying? But like the aggressiveness of it, you know what I'm saying? The people. I've heard somebody say, like, you use toxic masculinity correct. I'm like, what? Whatever. But just that like, I'm not the true hugger conscious rapper, right? Like, you hear my music, like, he's a grizzly bear and he's a teddy bear. You know what I'm saying? That you get that from me, right? But yeah, so I mean, that's all a part of it too. So if I'm in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Boosie's blowing up and Webby's blowing up and the street music take the thing, I might not make music like them, but I'm a teacher to their children. So how do I get their children's attention? So I've taken that approach, and I've been blessed because of it.
That's brilliant. I love that. One thing you said too is you mentioned kind of growing up in the mixtape era, and so another era that I wanted to ask you about is the blog era, because as you go through your press kit, you can see that in that like 2010s era, when the blogs were super important to the culture, you had earned some notable accolades and mentions from XXL.com and Hip Hop DX and other platforms of that magnitude. And so we've seen the way that we engage with the culture evolve and change so many times in the time that we've been artists. How has your career personally moved from being in the blog era to where we're at now, just in that like short time period?
Now this is an older way of doing things, and I don't think anybody who wasn't born in the 80s or 90s will understand this. But the only way I've been able to defeat the algorithm is my body. That's the reason why I think I've only, since 2017, I've only missed 2 years coming to New England, and that's because of COVID. 17, 18, 19, 22, 23, 24, and I'm coming back literally in 2 weeks. My body. Like you know, so like me touring, me being connected to people, like I'm like, you can hug me, you can dap me, I'm there. You're gonna see me, I'm gonna talk to you, I'm gonna ask you, you know, where if I want a good New Hampshire meal, where do I go? Like what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like I really tap in with people, and that's the difference or whatever. That's the difference. Like I'm so glad I didn't begin in the streaming era, because I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like I like, you know, like I'm blessed to be old enough to learn how to hustle. Let me not say hustle. Let me know how to maneuver without the internet. Like when I first started rhyming in high school, you couldn't send the MP3 to the radio station. Like we had to like literally like I grew up in Southern Oklahoma. It's 100 miles north of Dallas, 100 miles south of Oklahoma City, right? So I had to either put my CD in the mail or get my ass in the car and drive 100 miles in hopes that we would see a radio director. And they never played our shit. They never played it. You know what I'm saying? But I learned how to like we would go to like a like the community center where everybody playing basketball, and when everybody was letting out, we would start freestyling outside, and then pass out our CDs. When I got into college, right, when I was having a hard time getting booked for shows in Baton Rouge, but when they had a bigger name, I couldn't get on the bill. I would go to the show, I'd pay my money to get in. I'd ask, can I bring some CDs? And you know, I'm showing my age, CDs and business cards in. And then when the let out was coming out, I would wait. Yeah, you rock with the physicals. I know you do. I got mine over here or whatever. But we would wait till the let out comes, and I would stay at the end of the night. I would wait till the rappers come out. And so I remember like a ciphering with like Fayshawn. I remember ciphering with No Can Do. Ciphering with like, you know, like getting prop from Ghostface, because I waited till the end of the night till they came out. Oh, he out here, boom, I'm starting rapping, I'm starting to cipher, whatever. Like I'm from the era of going out and putting flyers on cars. Or like when I didn't have a press kit, I had like a physical picture book, like a physical press kit that I would go to venues with to be like, hey, my name is Marcel P. Black. I want to do this show here. Here's my manifest to show you how many people come to my show. Here's the pictures of flyers. I wanted to book my show here. And so I learned that, and then the internet came. And so I was still young enough to catch the internet and grow with it, whatever. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like really tapping in with people and like genuinely, like not on some transactional, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, like having a solid relationship between the people who support you, yourself and people support you, is absolutely what I tell to everybody who wants to have longevity, right? So regardless, like I've been so blessed, Cody, where it's like I lost my Instagram. Like right when I started my album rollout for my last project, I lost my Instagram. I have less than like 600 followers, but I'm still able to book a 25 state tour because of the connection I have in real life with people. But like I've been able to have a career that's not dependent on me going viral or me going platinum. And you know, I've done records with people, and like I just got my first big name co-sign from Cunnilingus, you know what I'm saying, when my project dropped or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have a whole bunch of crazy co-signs or whatever. It's been me. And because I tap in with real people, I show genuine love for the culture, and it resonates. And so as the game has changed, that's one thing that has remained constant. If you're great at what you do, if you do good business, if you try hard, and make sure that you keep your intentions based pure. Like I always talk about cultural intentions. My cultural intention is always to step into the room with hip hop and be a net positive to anybody who I speak to, who I touch, when I get on the stage, the way I do business. Like when you buy my CD, I'm confident that you're going to hear a good product that you're going to enjoy. I'm not trying to scam nobody. I ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so just being good to people, man. And you can't do that if you just rely on algorithms and streams and bots and shit like that. You got to be natural. And so for me, like I said, I'm gonna come to you. My OG says on Comanche said, rap where your fans are. So people are like, why you going to New Hampshire? And they fuck with me in New Hampshire. I'm not trying to run behind. I've been to New England 8 times. I've never played in Boston.
Damn, that's wild.
But I played Nashua. I played Keene. I played Manchester. I've been to Biddeford, Maine. I've been to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been to Portsmouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been all the Providence. I've been to Winooski. I've been to Champlain and Burlington. I've been all through New England because I go where people fuck with me at. I don't chase the other shit. I want to go where the culture is. I want to go where the love is. I'm not trying to chase the other type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Now I might be playing Boston for the first time later this year, cross your fingers or whatever. We'll talk about that off air. I ain't ready to announce that, you know what I'm saying? But I don't chase, I go where the culture is. I don't chase the fortune of the fame. The music industry has damn near ruined the culture. And so I don't chase that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't chase the big cities. If I'm going to Chicago and I'm going to Brooklyn, I'm going to the bigger cities, but I'm fucking with the people in the culture. I'm not whatever. So yeah, man. So it's culture over everything.
I love that. Well, speaking of culture over everything, the Culture Over Everything tour, I guess technically started last month, but now really kicks off in a couple weeks. You've got dates spread across 4 months through the United States. How did you build up such a strong touring regimen in your arsenal? And how has touring really affected your relationships with your audience?
Same thing, man. Just like going where your fans are, tapping in with people, showing love. You know, it started with me. You know, when I lived in Louisiana, I was the plug. So if you needed a show below the Mason-Dixon, any state besides South Carolina, you holler at Black, I got you. I know everybody. I can damn near tell you every monthly event. You know what I'm saying? From this side of Mississippi all the way to where y'all live at. You know what I'm saying? I'm just tapped in with people. So it started off like with show swaps, right? It started, hey, you bring me here, I bring you there. I'm gonna give you an example. So when I first started really traveling, I'm living in Baton Rouge. One of my mentors from New Orleans, he brings me to do a show in New Orleans. While I'm on the bill with the show in New Orleans, I meet another artist from New Orleans. He puts me on this show. I bring both of those guys to Baton Rouge. The other guy from New Orleans, he has a show with a live band. He has a guy there from Houston. We vibe. I bring out to Baton Rouge and bring me to Houston. I do the Houston show. While I'm at the Houston show, I meet some guys from Dallas and Jackson, Mississippi. Boom. I bring those guys to Baton Rouge. They bring me to Jackson, Dallas, Mississippi. I drop an EP. Now I got shows in New Orleans, Jackson, Dallas, Houston. You know what I'm saying? I got 4 or 5 shows that when I want to drop something, I can go work my project there because I've swapped shows out or whatever. And I did that until I didn't have to do it anymore, because while I'm doing that, I'm still working. Like while I'm being a facilitator or whatever, I'm still working on building my own personal buzz. So I'm working the blogs. The XXL thing was crazy for me. You know what I'm saying? Like to be like, whatever. That was a huge, like a national stamp. When I did A3C, I was the first person from Baton Rouge who did A3C. That was a huge national stamp. When I did the show at Run the Jewels and Killer Mike came to Baton Rouge, got on the radio and said, "Hey, y'all check for Marcel P. Black." That was huge for me, right? And so like just reaching out. I am a serial shot shooter. If I see something that I want to do, I make sure I tap in when I need to tap in. And hey man, can I do this? But I'm not the type of person where it's like, hey, I want you to do this for me. I'm saying, hey, this is what I can do for you. Look, I would like a verse. Boom. I definitely got the money, but I got also, hey, if you ever need a tour date in Louisiana, I got you. And so like I would leverage, because I was the plug, I would leverage some of the things that I could bring to the table. And so people saw that, okay, this dude is a hustler, this dude is hungry, but this dude also is he's a very good businessman, an ethical businessman, that I feel like me dealing with him is also good for my career. You know what I'm saying? And so as far as touring, man, it's just like all these places that I go, it's just years and years and years of just tapping in with folks, man. And like big shout out to Cesar Comanche. Big shout out to my man Dinku out of Milwaukee. Big shout out to Big Low, who's down in Florida. Or he's not really doing music anymore, whatever. But like, man, we was all in the same chitlin circuit, and we shared. We shared like we shared our connections, and we co-signed each other. And now, man, hey, when I want to go somewhere, it's just a matter of, okay, if I'm going to New England, okay, I already know when I come to New England, I'm going to do rap night, I'm going to do Monday of the Minds. Now it's about branching out who's in the area. When I come to the Midwest, I already know that 606 Tuesdays, what can I get in this area? I'm just tapping in with everybody else or whatever. And in the meantime, man, one of the main things a lot of artists do is I try to tap in with the people on the ground. So who are the other artists, right? Like if you open for me, then we friends. You know what I'm saying? If we every single time I come through, I'ma holler at you. If you're able to do it or not, I'ma holler at you. And when you drop a project, I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna listen to it. When you drop an album, I'm gonna pre-order the t-shirt. So it's like I'm not the type of person who like I try not to, you know, it's a lot of people, but for the most part, it's just like I try to build genuine relationships that just aren't just purely transactional.
Yeah.
And it pays off, man. So when I'm trying to book a tour, I'm just lining them up or whatever, just keeping these conversations. Like I don't have a manager, I don't have a booking agent. Like the majority of my shows are booked on Facebook Messenger. And you know what I'm saying? But it's always good business because we've established those type of good relationships.
That's super important. And I think that's huge that you can just like build that repertoire just off of the backbone of DIY too. I wanted to ask you, and maybe I don't know if it's a market that's on this tour or a market that you haven't been to yet, so that's your choice, but what is a market or some of the markets that you're most excited to perform in?
I love New England. I mean, and I'm not just saying it because you're in New England, but like when I say consistently, you show crazy love every single time. It's good. It feels good. Like I've been coming up there enough to where I feel comfortable. I feel, you know what I'm saying? And I know what I'm gonna get, and it's always really good people. What's coming up? The only place on my bucket list that I have not performed is Los Angeles. So that's the land I've done. LA, Chicago, Atlanta, New York, you know what I'm saying? All the other major cities or whatever. I have not done Los Angeles. I've done Oakland, I've done San Francisco, I've done Santa Cruz, I've done Ontario. But one of the last things to do domestically that I really want to do is Los Angeles proper, like in LA. It's a lot of politics. You know what I'm saying? Like everywhere else is like, I think it's cool that this DIY artist from the South is coming to Portland. And Los Angeles, they don't give a fuck about that. They don't. Ain't none of that. It's hot, you know what I'm saying? Because there's so much other stuff going on, right? And so that shit is not cute to them unless you like really big or whatever. So, I'm really excited about coming to Athens. Athens is a place that like Athens, Georgia, man. They really show a lot of love. I'm doing this festival. I'm one of the 10 headliners with into like I want to say it's 3 hip hop headliners. It's myself, Nappy Roots, and Bubba Spartans. And I'm performing at the Georgia Theater. You know what I'm saying?
Wild company to be in.
Wild company. And what's crazy is when I booked the festival, I didn't know. I just thought it was because I've done Athens pretty frequently. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking just another show. And when I saw the flyers, I'm like, oh shit! Like, okay, this is great. You know what I'm saying? But and then honestly, man, since I don't, you know, Oklahoma's the South, but it's a different type of South. Deep South is still my home. Like I was born in Southern Oklahoma, but Marcel P, the artist, was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and so that's always been my hip hop home. And so like that's where I really started touring. That's where I spent so much time flying out of New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? And so like so I'm always ready to go back home in terms of like Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Jackson, Mississippi, Lafayette, Louisiana, hell, Pensacola, Florida, Mobile, Alabama, like those deep South where it's hot as motherfucker and the states is red as hell. Like that's why I really cut my teeth. That's why I made my name. And and I'm gonna say this, like, if you see a hip hop artist, independent hip hop artist from the South, and you see him on the bill in Chicago, you see him on the bill in Wisconsin, you see him on the bill in fucking Vermont, please believe he had to work harder than any other motherfucker on that bill. Don't nobody like when you do Southern independent underground hip hop. There's none of that shit down there for us. And we had to fight with the venues. We had to fight with fucking segregation and racism and like, you know what I'm saying, and all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? You have to fight, you know what I'm saying, with venues. Like I've literally had venues tell me we want rap music without black people. And stood on that shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying?
What does that even mean? Like
that means that they want to have a night where they dance and listen to Lil Boosie and jig music, but they don't want anybody who looks like them. It happens, right? You know what I'm saying? And so when you see me in motherfucking Maine, I had to do some shit to get there. I had to fight through a lot of like, you know what I'm saying? I had to fight through like the lack of resources that there are for people who make music like I make or whatever. That's the reason why I had to like really expand my fan base, because I did a whole lot in Baton Rouge and I hit that glass ceiling. To where for what I want to do, like when nobody touring through Baton Rouge, I had to bring them there. And them motherfuckers don't come through there no more because I'm not there. Instead of saying I'm Oklahoma, even less people come through Oklahoma. You understand what I'm saying? And so like Marcel, why you out? Because there's nothing that I can do for me where I live at. So I'm gonna go where the culture is. You understand what I'm saying? So like, but yeah, like I love touring, man. Like I said, I love to go to different places and eat the food. And I love to go sneaker shopping. And if I got money, I like to go to the different strip clubs. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Because it's all different. Like it's different. I love hearing different accents. I love learning new slangs. I love, you know what I'm saying? I love all that type of stuff. And so I'm excited everywhere I go, man. I love it. Like I tell my wife can tell, like, damn, you ain't traveled about a month. I'm grumpy as hell. Every other week I gotta get up out of here. I gotta go do something. I gotta go, you know, and like that's one of my biggest fears, Cody. Like as I get older, like when I can't tour, what the hell am I gonna do? I gotta find something else. Cause it's an addiction. And it's something that like when I'm at home, I'm dad. You know what I'm saying? At school, I'm Mr. Williams. Oh, but when I'm Marcel P. Black, it's different. And so like, and like, even though that's my artist name, it's a part of me. I do get to express so much of myself to where other places it might not be the norm. And so when I can't go do that, man, I you know what I'm saying? I turn into a grizzly bear a little bit, but that's why I love doing it. I really love doing it, man.
Man, I'm so excited I'm excited to come and catch you when you're in my neck of the woods, but I'm excited for you to hit the road and get this run done. I know anybody that's had the chance to see you has had a phenomenal experience. So I got one more question for you, and I try to ask this of all of my guests. And so my final question is, what is a piece of advice that you would give to anybody that you met based from your personal experiences, if that makes sense?
Love what you do so much that you become an expert at what you do, and you become so good that you're undeniable at the things that you do, and that you're so undeniable that when you bet on yourself, you win every motherfucking time. There's other rappers who rap better than me. There's other rappers who might perform better than me. There's other rappers who they sell more records than me. They tour schedule might be bigger. They mix, they match, they got more followers than me. But can't another motherfucker beat me at being me? And when I'm me, I'm the GOAT. When I'm locked in, doing the best of what I do, I'm not worried about nobody else. Can't nobody fuck with me at what I do. And I believe in myself so much that I'll shoot that shot. I'll take that chance. I was telling my partner the other day, my first kind of big tour, I was supposed to tour with a group. I had a manager, I had a DJ. I had like $3,000 of sponsorship. Everything fell apart within up until 2 days before the tour. I was supposed to be gone for 2 weeks, 12 shows in 15 days. I had $250. I borrowed $300 from my partner. 15 days, I came back with $6,000 after all expenses. And I drove every single mile. I booked the whole tour. I drove every single mile by myself. I work my merch table every night. I booked everything myself. You can't tell me shit. Like I believe it, because I know I put the time in. I put the work in. I'm in the gym. Well, I need to get back in the gym, but I'm on the elliptical, running 10 miles a week.
Let's go.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm locked in. I'm not drinking. I'm not smoking. I'm going to bed at a decent time. I need to do all this shit now. What I'm saying is right. You know what I'm saying? This all pre-pandemic when it was a different time, right? But what I'm saying is I'm locked the fuck in. And like I made sure all my bills is paid at my house or whatever. I leave with $550 to come back with about $6,000 after, you know what I'm saying? That's what I netted. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's like but I believed in myself because I knew I'd put the work in and I was best at what I did. And so I'm so confident, like, man, I can do anything because I know I earned it. Like when I do shows with like bigger name artists, I don't get nervous because I earned that shit. I'm not lucky. I put the work in. And I put the work in to where it's like, if I ask for this feature or if I get on this stage with somebody else, all those nights when I was up, all those times that I put in, it's there for me. And it's because I really truly love what I do. And it makes me feel good. And I feel like it's empowering to myself and other people or whatever. So that's the first thing about it, man. Fuck, like, I want the music industry to burn. I want all that shit to go away. Give me the culture. Fuck the music industry. Fuck all this shit. Like, give me a microphone, a stage, and we don't get busy. You know what I'm saying? And I don't chase none of that shit, man. I know way more successful. I know way more failed mainstream artists, you know what I'm saying, than I do successful underground artists. Like most people, they have these dreams and delusions of grandeur when it comes to hip hop that they never make. But I follow the blueprint of so many successful underground rappers that you'll never hear mainstream, and they do it so well. And I've soaked up the game. I put it in my own thing or whatever, and I love it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Like I said, I'm saying it again. Love what you do. Put the time into what you do, so you're undeniable. So when you bet yourself, you're gonna win every time.
I love that. Culture Over Everything tour picks back up, starts June 20th. I don't know if you've got the dates in front of you. If not, I do. But you can catch Marcel from June 20th all the way through August 16th, trekking across the United States. He's going to be across multiple states. Let me read a few of these off for you.
I think I can do it by memory.
Oh, I love this, dude. Let's go.
All right. June 20th, Athens, Georgia. June 22nd, Manchester, New Hampshire. June 23rd, Portland, Maine. June 26th, Providence, Rhode Island. June 28th, Brooklyn, New York. July 11th, Lawrence, Kansas. July 13th, Chicago, Illinois. July 15th, wait. No. July 13th, July 13th, Omaha, Nebraska. July 15th, Chicago, Illinois. July 17th, Detroit, Michigan. July 18th, Dayton, Ohio. July 19th, Cincinnati, Ohio. July 25th, Lafayette, Louisiana. July 26th, Pensacola, Florida. July 27th, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. August 9th, Fort Wayne, Indiana. And motherfucking August 16th, happy birthday to her. We celebrate hip hop's 53rd birthday in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's what's on the tour, right? But like, yeah, I remember like pretty much all my tours. I can remember everything. I'm a history major, and so like dates and times and places work really well for me.
Damn, that was pretty good. I think you missed one, and that was July 30th in OKC.
Oh, god damn it, you're right. July 30th. You damn it. Shout out to L School, man. Yeah.
That was impressive, though. That was impressive. Yeah. Man, thank you so much for making time to chop it up with me tonight. I really appreciate you giving me almost an hour and a half of your time. If you guys want to check out Marcel on his tour or just hear his music, go to marcelpblack.com or marcelpblack.bandcamp.com, and be sure to follow him on social media at Marcel P. Black Official. Man,
can I answer this question in the chat?
Yeah, absolutely.
My favorite action movie is I like Bad Boys too.
Ooh, good call.
I like Bad Boys too. And then it was one Expendables movie that came out. I can't remember, but it was like 30 minutes of solid ass whipping, no dialogue, just you know what I'm saying? Like I like a little just like that's why I like Daredevil, man, because Daredevil they fight like it's hands and feet being thrown, whatever. So yeah, but I would say Bad Boys too. And shout out to everybody. I'm gonna say this is what I'm sorry. I dropped 2 projects recently. In December, I dropped the Maroon Pack, and I dropped the Black Dilemma in February. The Maroon Pack features Cesar Comanche from Justice League, and on the Black Dilemma, I have New England, Boston, Massachusetts. Lawrence, Massachusetts legend Rex. I have him on the Black Dilemma on a song called Make Dope Hip Hop. He's actually doing a release show in Manchester same night I am, so we're gonna be linking back up or whatever. And I have Deacon the Villain from Cunning Linguists on the Black Dilemma as well, 2 different songs or whatever. So I want y'all to really dig them, man. It's some of the my last 12 songs, some of the best music that I've ever made. You know what I'm saying? So I really want people to dig them in, like whatever. Like I'm a great live performer, no doubt. But the music I'm making, bro, I'm in my 40s, man, and I'm feeling like I'm 22. You know what I'm saying? So please, y'all check them out. Go to marcelpblack.bandcamp.com because Spotify don't pay shit.
Amen. That's that fine wine rap right there. Make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you guys catch Marcel when he's in your town. Make sure you guys go run up all that new music. marcelpblack.bandcamp.com, marcelpblack.com, at marcelpblackofficial. Thank you so much for all your time. I can't wait to chop it up with you when we catch up in Manchester. And we got a lot to chop it up about, but I'm excited for everything you got going on. I'm proud to see how much you've been doing over these years, and it's amazing to see you continue to fulfill your work with such prosperity, man. I think the culture owes you an immense amount of gratitude, and thank you so much for making time to just come and chop it up with me.
Your words mean a lot. I appreciate you having me, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat too.
Hey, much love, bro. See you soon.
Peace.
Man, thank you guys so much for tuning in for another episode of Cody Central. I know the schedule was kind of wacky in May with people dropping off the night of episodes and stuff like that, but we're coming back. We're getting consistent. We got people lined up for every single Monday for quite some time now. I'm going to start doing some one-off episodes as well. We'll do some music reviews. We'll do some other cool stuff, but I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. This week was episode 28. That means for the last 28 weeks, give or take, probably the last 30 weeks we've been doing this show. And it's just amazing that you guys keep tuning in and you keep supporting all the people that we bring on to the show. Huge thank you to Marcel for helping us have such an amazing show tonight. I implore you guys to go check him out while he's on the tour. Culture Over Everything tour. Make sure you find a date that's coming near you. Marcel is seriously a performer unlike any other that you've seen before. And right here, perfect. 22nd, he's going to be in Manchester for Rap Night. As we always say at the top of the event run, Rap Night Manchester is every Sunday at the Shaskeen. This year they celebrate 12 years of going strong and supporting the culture. The night that Marcel is playing is a Rap Night Super Show. So they're going to have, I believe, Rex and Artisan are going to be there as well. There's a crazy lineup for this show. So make sure you guys get tickets, get music, get merch, lock in, support the culture. Thank you guys for supporting the show. We're going to be back next week. Remember, if you guys want to have something plugged during the show, either check out hellhoundpublishing.com or just send an email to codycentralshow@gmail.com. Until next week, much love, guys. Preach.
Cody Central is written and produced by Cody Pope for Hellhound Publishing. If you'd like to sponsor the program and have your brand, podcast, or service featured, learn more about that today at www.hellhoundpublishing.com/Cody-Central. Additional ways to support the program include purchasing music, joining our Patreon for exclusive content, or simply donating at any of the links available in the QR codes above.
I certainly feel sorry for you.